The social media era has created a new form of celebrity that was basically unprecedented in the past, where you once had to be great at something in order to reach the heights of fame and fortune. The change in the cultural climate means that you just need to be infamous or outrageous to merit any kind of attention coming your way. Because ultimately, the fact that we all walk about screens in our hands all day has led to a society that's fascinated by the path, not travel, where you used to have to walk through a bad neighborhood to see chaos and dysfunction. It's all there at the click of a button now, and out of everyone who's taken advantage of this strange new era of media, few seem less deserving of a platform than Chrisean Rock. Once a successful track and field prospect who'd risen up from a difficult family background, her time at Santa Monica College in California as a student athlete set the stage for a life far beyond what most of those in her Maryland hood could have imagined. But instead of being known for her talent, she's become defined by her wild, reckless behavior, turning into one of the most controversial figures online today. Previously, many blamed her behavior on her ex-fiancé and baby daddy, but even with him locked up for nearly 2 years until his recent release, she somehow seemed to spiral even further out of control, meaning that now even those who wished her the best in the past are beginning to think she's beyond redemption. It's your boy Louisa, and this is Chrisean Rock's descent into madness. Ever since veering from her first TV appearance on Ultimate Tag to appearing on Blueface's OnlyFans show, Blue's House, and all the way through Two Baddies, Chrisean had often been pied as her life seemed to continually spiral out of control. But still, she was still alarmingly seen as an inspiration by some. After all, saying her time has been turbulent would be to massively understate what is one of the most toxic relationships that the public eye has ever seen. From day one all the way past the announcement of her pregnancy to his eventual imprisonment in 2024, the pair maintained a manipulative dynamic with their many attempts to get on a positive path, only proving that they weren't a good fit. With Chrisean appearing to be deeply devoted to Blue, she got him inked on her extensively, including an image of him on her face. But now that the relationship is seemingly over, she wants to make a bag out of getting rid of them. Then there's the important matter of their child. Chrisean Jr., even before he was born on September 3, 2023, people believed the kid didn't have hope in hell of being well adjusted. And as she got closer to her due date, those critics were proved right. For one thing, there were numerous instances of Croc being spotted out partying or smoking while expecting her first kid, as if that didn't endanger the kid enough. There was a violent incident in Las Vegas where she claims she was attacked by Blue, which was just prior to the kid being born. Despite the odds, Chrisean Jr. was born, but since then there's been a lot of accusations that he suffered from fetal alcohol syndrome at 2 years old, as he still doesn't seem capable of walking or talking. And all the way through this ordeal, she combed all the claims that there's anything wrong with her kid, while Rock continually says there is no story here. Blueface's mother, who has become Rock's worst antics in recent years, blames Chrisean for what appears to be his many issues. Despite what Carissa said, Chrisean maintained that the reports of the kid being in any kind of jeopardy or having developmental issues are all lies. However, that certainly hasn't prevented it from getting to her and causing Rock to break down in interviews, but no matter what she says, all signs suggest that the public can't be convinced. Otherwise, Dashi is a bad parent, particularly when there is clear evidence of her being downright irresponsible. Because of this perception of her lack of parental ability, the claims that she wanted a whole lot of children have caused a whole lot of alarm. How could someone want so many kids when the one they birthed was saturated in drugs and alcohol? 12 kids when you failed the one that you have already? But even then, Chrisean has kept trying to fight her corner, claiming that she was a household name and that people simply enlisted her name to boost their own profiles. People chiming in on M like I know them, and when I respond, it's a problem. Y'all collectively can sit down when I defend myself. It's because y'all say something first. I'm never starting beef or giving my opinion on anyone unless they talking about me or passing judgment. I mind my own business. Always been that person to only be beefing with my baby dad respectfully. I'm a really nice person and the internet trying to put a spin on it. So when I see a person with a platform trolling me for clips, I'm going to nip that in the bud. I'm not going to be letting up. I'm not going to be letting up. Y'all forgetting I used to run a circus with my BD? So when I see certain stuff, I know what's actually happening and I'm authentically going to show up as myself. Try that with someone else. Stop using my name. Chrisean is a household name. I don't care who you are, what clout you got. I don't with nobody till they mess with me. As for her relationship with her incarcerated baby daddy, who had recently just got out of jail now, there are moments where she seems in town rebuilding their bond. Even after everything that's happened between them, but even if Chrisean, who spent 30 days in prison in her own right for assault, wants to rekindle things, the Thotiana rapper certainly doesn't feel the same, only permitting her back into her deserted home because he thought she had nowhere to go. and to show her gratitude, she wrecked a place in the space of a few days. While Blue was stuck in a tiny cell for 23 hours out of the day, Chrisean had a chance to control the narrative, like never before. And where his platform is what led to her rise to fame in the first place. Chrisean is now adamant that in recent times, she's the reason why anyone even checks for him these days. Considering how she's conducted herself, it's hard to imagine that anyone would want to clamp onto this train wreck in motion. But shockingly, there have been men willing to immerse themselves in her little world. That's only gotten more chaotic, due to Blueface refusing any advances on her part to be family again. Crone has tried to move on with varying degrees of success. At one point, she alleged that she was dating an NBA player. However, she might have mixed things up a bit, confusing the pro leagues with college ball, since the player she was referring to, Titan Newton, is actually an NCAA athlete. Following her short-lived spell with the college student, Person then linked up with a new boyfriend and Soulja Boy's artist, Hood Trophy Bino, after they launched their relationship in summer of 2025. It was believed that these two were enabling each other's worst impulses, as they even got a visit from police and child protective services to their hotel room, where they received a $1,000 fine for smoking in front of their children. Still, things seemed to be going well with Bino, claiming that he had accepted Chrisean Jr. as his own kid. However, Keisha's past was about to come between them, as when she wouldn't get rid of the tattoo of Blueface on her fist, Bino apparently called it quits. And to add salt into the wounds, he echoed the criticism of those who said she wasn't fit to be a mother. Upon hearing this, Chrisean crashed out and went as far as threatening him, Andy Van, suggesting that the whole thing was a hoax meant to boost his career. Wherever the truth lies, things have gone so far that even being pictured close to her is enough to get you trolled. Just ask DJ Academics, a man who received a thorough roasting online for daring top post a picture alongside her. This picture smells like sweat and black and mild if cracking. He's irredeemable. We let Selena fly, but this is a mythic. Meanwhile, even her fellow streamers were bailing out of the way when she started twerking music. All the while, her extensive dating life after the birth of her kid has gained the eye of Blueface's mom. Speaking of streaming, Chrisean has actually garnered success in that world as of late, racking up a kick deal rumored to be worth over $1 million. But rather thanasing this to better her life and that of her child's, Rock has just kept finding herself need in drama with those that she's supposed to be closest to, filling the void left by her constant wearing with Blueface. After all the chaos with Blueface started to die down, Chrisean didn't slow up. She just shifted the smoke towards her sister to Psyche. Ran always had a chaotic family life. Whether it was her father squabbling up with Blueface on television, or online disputes with her own mother, but in recent years, things have been getting increasingly messy between Chrisean and her fellow famous sibling. This arguably all began when a story emerged that the Baddies East cast member had been jumped by Keishawn and a few friends of hers. To the surprise of no one apart from maybe Khan, this wasn't exactly behavior that her sister could condone or let slide, and said that they would never be cool again. Yet, even if they were at odds, no one could have anticipated the next card that Chrisean would play, as soon she hit out with some truly shocking allegations towards Techie regarding abuse that I can't even personally verbalize without getting the channel demonetized. Once again, Techie was unsurprisingly shocked to the core by this serious claim, while their other sister Chastity claimed that this was categorically untrue and that she had actually been offered cash to keep the lie going, with their relationship left in tatters. One crazy accusation soon led to another as Techie repaid the favor. During an interview with Jason Lee, Techie inferred that Rock could have been involved in her ex Ronnie Doe's fatal shooting that happened earlier that year. For context, Chrisean's former man, Karan KHN, otherwise known as Ronnie Doe, was killed at the age of 24. His death was the result of a shooting in Sever, Maryland. And just before it all went down, he had frequently claimed that he was the father of Chrisean Jr. as he gained an online following of his own. He had come after her hard, but despite his continued requests, Chrisean denied to let him take a paternity test prior to his demise. Rather than disappearing, Techie's remarks led to further speculation about Rock's role in what went down, courtesy of Blueface's manager, Whack 100, in an interview with Vlad TV. Whack suggested that she might have had something to do with his passing after. Ronnie claimed he'd incriminate her. Since then, the mudslinging between Techie and Khan have been unrelenting. At Tone Stage, Keishawn claimed she'd given her sister $15K to watch her kid. In response, Taki labeled her a drug user. Elsewhere, she opened up about where the problems between them began, claiming that the friction emerged during Rock's time with her ex, Blueface, with any love between them now a distant memory. Chrisean has gone as far as claiming that, while she got her sister jumped, Techie had attempted to kill her, And just when things couldn't get any worse, Chrisean then claimed that her sister's son was assaulted by their cousin when he was just 1 year old. And in response, the second seemed to be left devastated by the entire situation. I am heartbroken and deeply disturbed by the false and malicious accusations recently made online by a family member about both me and my child. These claims are completely untrue and have caused tremendous emotional distress to our family. These statements not only harm our reputations but also endanger our safety and well-being. We are taking the necessary legal and protective steps to address this matter appropriately, out of respect for our privacy, especially for my child. I ask that people refrain from spreading, discussing, or engaging with these false claims. We appreciate those who have reached out with support and understanding during this very painful time. Our focus right now is on protecting our family, our peace, and the truth. At the moment, Chrisean seems intent on airing out family secrets, both real and imaginary. However, talking about someone else's kid is rich coming from Chrisean, who has begun to warn the world that any discussion of her own son won't be allowed to fly without serious repercussions. In a recent rant on IG stories, Chrisean declared that everyone that think they can speak on my son always lose their life. I wonder why they keep going when they see the end result of trying to harm me for your personal clout gain. Keep going. Let's count how long it lasts. I'm really protected from all evil. First it was his daddy Blue. Look at him. He has been locked up for 2 years now. Our son was 6 to 7 months old when his dad lost his freedom. Then it was my ex-boyfriend Chrisean. Unfortunately, that person died. Now, honestly, I'm starting to think I don't think to do anything but warn y'all to stop speaking on my son. Like, it won't take your life. Y'all won't learn until it happens. Leave me alone. Whether this was an idle threat to ward off her enemies or potential self-snitching, everyone still felt that whatever people had to say about her kid, she brought it upon herself. She needs to be in jail for what she did to her son. Imagine smoking and drinking during pregnancy and then being mad at others. Yet, not everyone is deterred by her threat, as she's still being insulted by Blueface's mom at every turn. Clearly, Carissa's preferred situation would be for her son and Chrisean to never cross paths ever again. Yet, considering that they share a son, this was highly unlikely to happen. But even then, she likely didn't expect that the two would be reunited mere hours after he was released back into the world. As almost as soon as he was out from behind the walls, the constantly bag-focused Blueface appeared on stream alongside her to ensure that the drama remained as profitable as ever. And from the outset, it was clear that the dynamic was less toxic than ever. Almost instantly, this had Blueface, his other baby mama, and professional Stewie Griffin look-alike, crashing out over someone who is as dysfunctional as Chrisean being around her child. Similarly, Blueface's mom was out for blood, blasting Crescent for conspiring to cause friction as soon as he returned to the outside world. Amid everything that's going on with Blue, her son, and everything in between, Chrisean looks to be in the grip of another chaotic manic episode. Recently, she went online and renounced that Zeus Network shows and the way they fueled the drama, even though that's what essentially made her famous in the first place. In response to a series of crazy DMs he'd received, Zeus Network Slim Plumber aired out Chrisean and let it be known that he was going to end their working relationship once and for all. At Chrisean, I've done nothing but extend countless opportunities to you, and I've compensated you generously for your time and involvement. He began a thing to you, but it's all love, no malice, and certainly no hate on my end. However, I am no longer interested in engaging in any professional capacity with you. You've repeatedly displayed patterns of manipulation, deceit, and ingratitude that make working with me and Zeus entirely untenable. Your conduct has been consistently disrespectful, disruptive, and he said, while you are undeniably entertaining and possess talent alone can only take one so far. It is character, integrity, and humility that sustain longevity. Your actions have consistently reflected otherwise, contradicting the godly image you so often profess. I sincerely wish you healing, growth, and clarity as you move forward. Now left without one of her biggest revenue streams from reality TV, and people growing increasingly tired of how she acts around Blueface, Passion's fate looks like it's on shaky ground. But at this rate, the last thing she or her child needs is for her to have another platform or further riches that allow Rock to carry on down this dangerous path that she's on. Instead, what she really needs is help, and fast. Because otherwise, this might be a story that people will look back on in true horror in years to come.